What's up everyone guys, my name is Victor Basu and welcome to my channel Windows Victor. So today I am going to talk about the ECG feature of Apple Watch Series 4. How does it actually works? How much accurate are these ECGs? Is it really reliable? So at first I would like to say what an ECG is. Now ECG stands for electrocardiogram. It is a graph that records the electrical activity of your heart. Now, due to the repolarization and depolarization of the atria and ventricles of your heart is able to pump the blood to all the parts of your body and the blood is again returned to your heart again. Now, this whole circulation of this pumping blood from your heart to all the parts and then returning to your heart continues due to this electrical activity or the repolarization and depolarization of the atria and ventricles of your heart. Now, what an ECG or an electrocardiogram does is that it keeps the record of the magnitude and direction of the electrical activity generated due to the repolarization and depolarization of the atria and ventricle. To simply, I would say that it is simply a test that measures or a graph that measures the electrical activity of your heart. Now, this whole graph is used to estimate what kind of heart disease you are facing, your heart is means in a perfect condition or not, whether your heart is able to perfectly pump the blood to all the parts of your body or not, or some kind of medical heart related disease. All types of means problems are estimated from this graph. Now if you have ever went to an hospital, you know how an ECG machine looks like. Those are those cubical bulky machine, and beside those machine the patient is laid down and all sorts of wirings or clips like wires are attached to their fingers and their toes and all around their chest. Now that is how a traditional or the ECG machine that you see in hospital looks like. Or if you haven't seen, you can Google it out and look and have a look at it, how does it actually looks. So that's how a traditional ECG machine looks. Now how does it actually works? Now the ECG machines that you see in the hospitals are actually 12 lead electrode based ECG machines. Now what does this 12 lead electrodes means? It simply means that all types of wires that you see that are attached to the fingers, then all around your chest, then at your toes, are actually the electrodes of the ECG machine. Now these electrodes could be a bipolar or a unipolar electrode. Now bipolar electrode means that the electrode which have got both negative polarity and a positive polarity. To explain you polarity in simple word, I would say that it is like the positive side of the battery and the negative side of the battery. Means the positive side means the positive polarity and the negative side means the negative polarity. So that's how the bipolar electrode is. Now an unipolar electrode means it has got a single polarity, means it could be either a positive polarity or it could have a negative polarity, means any one could be at one time. Now among these 12 separate lead electrodes, 6 of them are attached to your limbs. Among these 6, 3 of them are bipolar electrodes and 3 of them are unipolar electrodes, and another 6 unipolar electrodes are attached around your chest. Now I might be wrong at this fact, so please miss this how many of them are attached to the limbs and how many of them are attached around the chest. So please, if I am wrong, correct me in the comment section below. Now the 12 lead electrodes that are attached all around your body are arranged or attached in a manner that it could take the electrical signal from all 360 direction of your heart. Due to this, you get a better and accurate result of the electrical signals that are generated from your heart. So that's how an ECG machine that you see in the hospitals actually works. Now let's see how the ECG technique or the ECG mechanism that is present in the Apple Watch Series 4 actually works. Now if you have an Apple Watch, you know how it actually works, and if you don't have, I'm going to explain it to you right now. At first you need to have a ECG app in your Apple device, and then you are asked to hold the digital crown of the Apple Watch for 30 seconds with your forefinger. Now why do they ask you to hold the digital crown for 30 seconds with your forefinger? Actually, if you watch the watch closely, you would see that at the lower base of the watch there is a circular shiny spot. Now that shiny circular spot is actually a electrode. Now the second electrode is actually present at the digital crown. The digital crown which you touch for 30 seconds, or which they ask you to touch for 30 seconds, also acts like an electrode. Now when you touch the electrode, means touch the digital crown of the watch, it completes the circuit around your chest, and due to this completion of circuit from your hand and all along your chest, the electrical signals generated by your heart are actually captured through your skin. Now this whole thing acts like a single lead electrodes that captures the electrical activity of your heart in real time. So the Apple Watch is actually a single lead electrode based ECG machine. Now can this single lead based electrode ECG machine be compared to a 12 lead based electrode ECG machine? Now let's see a comparative study of this. Now the ECG present in Apple Watch detects two kind of condition. One is sinus rhythm, which means healthy condition of your heart and your heart is functioning in proper rhythm. And another is atrial fibrillation, which means your heart is not in a proper state and it has irregular rhythm. Now this atrial fibrillation also indicates the presence, or you could suffer from a stroke situation. So these two types of condition are actually detected by the single lead electrode based ECG technique. Now it cannot detect other type of heart problems like high blood pressure, then cardiac arrest, then you have some kind of blood clot. So these types of problem are not detectable by the Apple Watch, which are detected by this 12 lead electrode based ECG machine. Actually this 12 lead electrode based machine is like an all-rounder machine that could detect all sorts of problems that could be present in your heart. Not only that, if you have suffered from a problem in the past, that is also detectable by the ECG that we get from these 12 lead electrode machines. So compared to that, in the single lead electrode based machine that is present, or which is present in the Apple Watch, you could detect only two kinds of situation. One is a healthy and the second one is atrial fibrillation, which means irregular rhythm of your heart, or which can cause you stroke. Now it is actually a great device. This Apple device means many a times people don't understand what to do when stroke means when they are facing a stroke situation, means they do not get the perfect first aid, or they do not understand means is it a stroke. It is very difficult to understand by themselves also. So means for that situation, this Apple Watch is a very good first aid. I would say that this Apple Watch is not actually a checkup machine, or the ECG of this Apple Watch is not actually for a checkup or a test. It is just a screening type of mechanism, means it screens or it takes a record of your heart activity in real time. But for real test or a real a real checkup for your heart, I would always recommend a hospital or the ECG machines that are present in the hospitals, because that's where you get an accurate or a more precise functionality of your heart, means is your heart healthy or are you suffering from some kind of disease. So now this Apple Watch has got some of the great features, means when you are facing a situation of atrial fibrillation or a real-time stroke, it actually asks you, or a screen pops up in front of the Apple Watch, that whether you want to call the emergency or not, or if you are feeling pain in your heart, or is it okay that you want to skip the situation. So not only that, your Apple Watch also screens your activity, means if it detects that you are not responding for 30 seconds after detection of atrial fibrillation, it automatically calls the emergency so that you could get the fastest aid possible. Now how much accurate is this Apple Watch? It could detect two kinds of situation, and those two situations, how much accurate they are compared to a 12 lead ECG machine. Actually this ECG technique or the ECG machine is tested by Apple themselves, and here is what they say. The Apple found that the ECG app could detect atrial fibrillation with 98.3% sensitivity compared to a 12 lead electrogram, and sinus rhythm with 99.6% accuracy. So that is how accurate this Apple Watch works in case of detecting your your heart condition. So means it could detect two situations, but still it is a great first aid to a number of people. Now let's talk about some of the disadvantages of this Apple Watch. You see, when you are doing an ECG in a hospital, or the ECG machine that is used in hospital, you are totally in an isolated condition, means you are totally isolated from the environment, isolated from disturbance or any kind of anxiety or pain or all types of things. You are isolated from all of that. So there you get the actual rhythm or the actual activity of your heart at resting condition is detected. Now when you are using this Apple Watch, you are in an open environment, means you could get anxiety, you could get excited. So that's how the reading in your Apple Watch could deflect and give you a wrong result also sometime. Means suppose you don't have any stroke, but still it gives you a signal that yes, you are facing some kind of a irregular heart rhythm and you must go to the consult to the doctors, and you feel a rush inside yourself that oh, you are in a unhealthy condition, you must consult a doctor. But still this Apple Watch is really a lifesaver of many people. Means you could go to the Twitter, you can see cases where Apple Watch has really saved a person's life. According to me, it is also a great device, means you should have it, because means in case of a heart problem, people don't understand what should be done immediately, and they panic, don't know or what kind of treatment should be done at that right moment, and sometimes this taking of wrong decision can cause them death. So that's why this is a great device, I would say. Maybe it is not as perfect or as broad rangely used compared to a 12 lead ECG machine that is used in hospitals, but still it is a great device. So these kinds of device must be accessible to all the persons of the world, so that they can have a perfect aid for their heart. Now you know that you cannot, a normal person cannot buy an Apple Watch, because you need to have a lot of bucks in your pockets to buy these watches. So it is not actually accessible to all the people, I would say. So in coming future, I would expect that some company would come up with better techniques and or a cheaper smartwatch that has this ECG recording mechanism, so that every one of us could access this beautiful technology. Maybe that the ECG that is generated from the Apple Watch, or the ECG that is generated in your smartwatch would not be recommended by doctor, or it might that you have taken out recorded the ECG from your Apple Watch and go to the doctor and say that this is my ECG, and the doctor would recommend the condition of your heart. No, it is not actually possible. The doctors would always recommend the ECG that is taken from the hospitals, or the 12 lead based ECG technique, because to them those ECG techniques are more accurate. Not only that, the ECG that you generated, it is like a screening ECG, not a perfect one. It was a it is not a perfect one according to the doctors. So the doctors not may basically recommend, but it is the screening actually could save everyone's life if these kinds of device are accessible to all the person of the world. So what do you think? Is it possible that in coming future you get to see smartwatches that has this ECG application, and it is also very cheap, that it is accessible to all the persons, to everyone in the world? Not only that, it there are also possibilities that some company would come up with a smartwatch, or even Apple could come up with smartwatch that could detect more number of heart conditions, so that you could know your heart or the condition of your heart in a better way, in a more accurate and precise way. Maybe that it is possible that they could increase the number of lead electrodes, so that a total ECG or a more accurate ECG machine is just right just right around your wrist. So all these things are possible in our coming futures. So what do you think? Please comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So that was all for today. I hope you had a little gain of knowledge that how this ECG technique in Apple Watch actually works. So hit the like button if you like it, and do not forget to share it among all your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to Windows Victor. Till then, thank you very much.